So how's it going?
Yeah, good. We just we like have traveled before. We've been overseas. I guess at this point you can say that.
Yeah.
But I think that like we still don't like know how to adjust to the time thing. Like we both just woke up from naps. Like I walked from the other room with the other couch and came in to see he was sleeping, and I felt relieved because I didn't want to be the only one screwed up.
Josh is a much cuter napper than I am.
No, that's not true.
No, you
I
look
sleep
at
with my
him
mouth
napping.
open. It's just like
No, you look at him napping and you're just like, I want to be where he is right now.
That's a good place.
Yeah.
In terms of the energy that the band has on stage, is it then difficult when you go to another country and you feel exhausted, jet lagged?
What do you think?
I think that there's something about getting on stage that it doesn't matter how tired you are, your adrenaline's going to kick in. And I mean, like I said, Josh is such a cute napper that it's like I get energized.
Energy from that?
From just watching you nap.
I'm glad I can do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, the last 6 months have been a big 6 months for you guys. A lot of things have happened. Some would call it your mainstream breakthrough. You played the MTV Movie Awards.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you look back at the past 6 months?
We don't feel much different personally, but I don't know. It's cool to do some things that your parents can watch you do on TV. And that's always it's a cool moment. Other than that, there's some things like whether it's a television performance or any sort of visibility in the mainstream market that comes and goes, and really where a career is sustained and the true parts of traction, you can feel the music kind of growing and the people around it growing. It's when you play live shows, the real shows, the shows that aren't about a TV performance or about a particular song, but really about an entire band and an entire album. And playing festivals is, I don't know, something that I want to do the rest of my life.
Same.
Is there then a feeling that, in a sense, you've also been vaulted into the public eye more, or hasn't that become that big of an issue?
I think we were talking about it. I know that directly after you brought the MTV Movie Award performance, so looking at that, directly afterward, we were kind of both like on our Twitters or like searching like and
on
seeing
the Twitskis.
Yeah, in the Twitter, whatever.
Twitskis.
The Twitski, yeah. We saw a lot of. Well, it stuck out a lot. The negative comments and stuff stuck out to us, and it was interesting because typically we would go and perform. And a lot of the people will buy a ticket to come to the show. So typically people who don't like what you're doing aren't going to go and buy a ticket to come see you. So response is usually positive that we see. And so when it's something that's projected in front of a lot of people that didn't necessarily sign up for it or buy a ticket or even know that it was going to happen, there's a lot more of that possibility for people to not like it publicly, which is interesting. It was interesting for us.
Did it affect you?
We were super depressed for like 3 days.
No, I can imagine that.
No, there was a moment where I looked over at Josh like, you know what, this is at a high enough level on a platform that's large enough for people to want to speak out against like what they think is good or. This is art. This is a song that we wrote that like I don't understand how anyone can like hear a song that someone honestly wrote and think that's a bad song. So it doesn't even, maybe you don't like it. It doesn't mean it's doesn't mean it's bad
Yeah.
or poorly done. Or I mean, obviously there's a degree of skill and excellence that it takes to write songs, but when it's someone's interpretation of what they're trying to say at the moment, there's really not a good and bad way of doing that. And there was a moment where it was like, all right, I just gotta not listen to people, and not only that, but it's when our main core group of fans kind of rose to the occasion and not only defended us but like just we realized in that moment when we were put into kind of like a mainstream spotlight, we realized who our fans were. And that was cool. It kind of like weeded people out, and now we know who kind of our core group is.
Well, you've talked about this relationship you have with the fans before, wanting to give them more than just a show but an experience. And is this in a sense then an experience of belonging? Because, well, maybe I'm way overthinking this, but I was thinking of kind of a hierarchical structure, and that's kind of, you want them to be inclusive instead of having you here and them here.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a kind of an experience of ownership, in the sense that it's something that people can take and make it their own, in so many different ways, and we get to see it a lot, how people choose to make it their own and kind of take control of what it is, what that looks like, which is really cool, because we say it a lot, but it wouldn't just work if it was just two of us traveling around and playing on stages with nobody there. And so in the ways that people are creative with how they own the music, it's really it's inspiring for us, and it's encouraging too. So I think so.
There's no one more important to us than our fans. I mean, everything that we do is truly thought through their lens, with a filter of, the people who have been supporting this and who want to be a part of this and get behind this. What would they want? So obviously you don't want to live your life constantly, worrying about what other people think. But it is good to kind of have that constant force out there that you know who they are, how they think, what they like, and so it's good to as we write new songs, as we come up with new ideas for shows, instead of trying to figure out what mainstream music or radio stations or whoever, what they want. We've met these people who are our fans now that we've kind of traveled around and played enough shows. We know what they want, and that's our goal, is to try to give them that.
Do you go online and look at live footage of yourselves then to kind of get into that perspective?
Yeah, I think that we both think it's really important to do that kind of thing, and we also started setting up like GoPros around the stage, different angles. Some of it's kind of some of it's sometimes on us so that we can look back and watch the footage and try and get better from a musical standpoint, and some of it's facing an audience to see how people respond or react.
Yeah.
Because it's all important data to kind of study and learn. And
it's really hard for me to watch live footage of us because I just feel so like weird about watching myself do that on stage. But it's one of the best things that I've done, forced myself to kind of, okay, why would I do that? Why did I say that? But then at the same time going, okay, I feel like this is forced. I feel, I can see through my facade here. And that's what's great about live shows, is when you put enough smart people into one room, they can sniff out whether or not you're being real or authentic, and kind of maybe sometimes when you're on stage you lose sense of whether or not they believe you.
Right.
And that's something that we really try to get better at with our live show, is just being aware of what's going on in the room and not trying to fake them, and or yell at them or lie to them or make them think that we're cooler than we actually are.
Does your approach then, with what you just mentioned, change when it comes to festivals like these?
We come to a festival like Pink Pop here, and we just don't know what to expect, and that's what's really cool about our fans and the internet and how music is shared. We kind of convince ourselves that no one knows who we are. That's how we've always approached every live show. Starting as a local band, that's our number one fear. Is anyone going to show up? And if they do, will they even know who we are? And then will they even like us at all? And I don't think that'll ever change. I don't think we'll ever we'll never not wonder those questions before taking a stage, especially in a different country for a festival. And but those are truly my favorite times on stage, is when there's a little bit of doubt, a little bit of insecurity.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.